So I would like to go rainbows, but we're not there yet.
All right, brother. Hit me.
So now you're coming back from Afghanistan, and you got your girlfriend and whatnot, and here we go. My first tour in Afghanistan ended a few weeks later, and I headed back home. I was still haunted by all the things I had witnessed in Kabul. Images played over and over in my head, whether it was small children begging for money, a mother holding a dead baby in the streets, or my buddy TJ bloodied up from a roadside bombing. My girlfriend expected me to return as the same guy who had left 6 months earlier, but I was a different man now, a different Jody. Everything around me looked different, too. Maybe things hadn't changed much, but I felt like I was on an alien planet. My girlfriend had redecorated the house, moving some of the furniture around and repainting the bedroom, and I found it upset me. Life had gone on without me, and that fact was hard to take. People around me kept saying, "What's wrong with you, Jody? You've changed." And that would make me even more upset. Not because they were wrong, but because I thought I was the kind of soldier who could just walk it off. But few soldiers can. It takes time after a tour of duty for a soldier to readjust to civilian life, and I wish I'd known that earlier. I was expected to continue life just as I had lived it before my tour, but I couldn't. Not right away. I couldn't step back into my normal routine as if I hadn't witnessed anything on mission. I couldn't just hop in the car and go to the grocery shopping like everything was fine. It's interesting that you kind of felt like you were weak sauce because you were not the exact same before you went on deployment.
Yeah, you feel like a pussy. Even though you shouldn't feel like a pussy.
Right.
You feel like a pussy. It's the most frustrating. At the time, it was one of the most frustrating things because you want to be that guy for your woman. Yeah, of course, I'm still that awesome alpha male that you fell in love with and can whatever doesn't blink at anything except that water bottle at the side of the road right there. What's that pile of garbage doing right there? What do you mean I should just drive? Oh, right. Yeah, this is our street. Sorry, it's not a road in Kabul. Like I said, I wish I'd had that advice that, be prepared for the fact. Because when I went to Kosovo, because I've had people ask me, well, you didn't have that reaction when you came back from Kosovo. Well, I lived in the barracks. All my shit was in storage. I didn't have a girlfriend. I had a girl that I was dating. She picked me up when we got home, but it's not like we were going to get engaged or anything. And, I didn't have any real belongings. I still lived at the unit. This was a house I had bought. My girlfriend had moved in. She was talking about kids and marriage, and we had a dog. And I came home, and I was like, "What happened to my house? And what is going on?" And what I told my dad when I went to Kosovo. In the book, I talk about my dad. One of the 3 times I've seen him cry in my life was when I deployed to Kosovo for the first time. And I said, "Hey, man, don't worry about it. It's 6 months. Hey, what's 6 months, right? It's like 6 haircuts. It's six mortgage payments. It's nothing. Don't worry about it." And I come home, and I couldn't even think that way myself. And, and I don't know if you felt like that after your first deployment. But this one was different because I guess I had a life to come home to besides the unit.
I've always been very compartmentalized in the way I think.
Right.
Sometimes probably to a detriment to my family a little bit. But I've always been very compartmentalized. Like work, come home, oh, I'm not at work anymore. So just stop thinking about that stuff. And it's usually pretty positive. But the problem is that when you get you realize you're compartmentalizing your family out of the picture, kind of, which I would have a tendency to do somewhat. Right. And I mean, that's probably part of one of the things that.
But even when you were a real young guy. Like how long have you
Yes.
been married?
I've been married for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And I've always been like that.
Okay.
I honestly, it's wrong, I think, but the SEAL teams was always the biggest priority in my life. And people will be like, "Oh, family first." That was not true for me. And luckily, my wife understood that. And she didn't hold it against me.
Right.
She knew that someday, she knew the SEAL teams wasn't going to last forever. And all you guys in the military, I'll tell you what, the military does not last forever.
Well, the big green machine rolls on.
Yeah, exactly.
With or without you.
Exactly.
And the people that are there when you fall off, those are the ones you got to worry about when you're still on.
Yep. And so that's why I think I just was able to compartmentalize what, away.
Right.
And I would basically be almost a schizophrenic of this is the guy that works. And this is a guy that's at home. He's dad or whatever. And boom, I just had that really good split. And I think it was beneficial to me.
Probably was. Probably is.
Yeah. I think it is.
I guess I assumed I was that guy too. Because I approached most things that way, but maybe just having that little home of my own for that one tour. And then also, losing a couple buddies for the first time. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what the thing. Like, it's not like it didn't wreck anything. Like my career was fine. Like it was just. Well, I mean, I lost a fiance out of it, but
yeah, and that's what happens next.